Nigeria.com, a leading online political forum in Nigeria. My name is Debo Yusuf, and today I have with me engineer Debo Onifade, the author of the book Liberating Nigeria, A Guide to Winning Elections and Reviving Our Country, put forward by Mr. Femi Falano, a senior advocate of Nigeria. He is also the founder of Nigeria's #1 online political forum. I am talking about www.liberatingnigeria.com. The book is available on Amazon, and in Nigeria, you can place an order online from delan.ng, rhbooks.com.ng, or simply send a mail to liberatingnigeria@gmail.com to make inquiries about the book and, of course, place an order for the book. A free ebook is also available on Amazon Kindle Unlimited. And most importantly, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get registered on the online political forum, www.liberatingnigeria.com, to join our movement to revive Nigeria. Our vision is to enlighten, organize, and influence 5 million first-time voters by 2023 and 20 million by 2027. Welcome to the show, Engineer Onifade.
Thank you so much. Nice to be back.
Yeah, it is. So, Governor of Kaduna State, Rufai, Malam Nasir Rufai, made a statement in Lagos at a particular event he attended in Lagos, and the statement he made was about a subject matter that affects the Nigerian politics generally, although it's something that can be felt heavily in particular states of the country. So he talked about the word godfatherism in Nigerian politics, although he was being specific about Lagos State, but I want us to discuss this in a broader level. So he said, if I want to run for governor of Lagos, I will start now. I will commission a study to know why those 5 million registered voters did not vote. Where do they go on election day? Then I will start visiting them for the next 4 years. I will try and get just 2 million of them to come and vote for me. I will defeat any godfather. Now, before he said that, he gave an explanation on how he was able to defeat 4 godfathers in Kaduna State to emerge the governor of Kaduna State. So he said, as much as it seems like godfathers have power in Lagos, Lagosians, any very serious politician in Lagos can defeat the power of godfatherism in Lagos State and become the governor. So to him, the simple process is simply, because he said in Lagos State there are 6 million registered voters, but in election it's just 1 million of those registered voters that come out to vote. So this person who wants to become a governor in Lagos State without help from godfathers in Lagos should simply get to know why these 5 million voters do not come out to vote on election day, and try as much as possible to get just 2 million of them to vote for him. So he said this person should start from now. So it's a long process. It's something that takes a lot of hard work. So the person should start. He made a statement in 2019, that's last year. So he said the person would take 4 years, that's 2020, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, to do all of this. And come 2023, he would emerge winner of the governorship seat in Lagos State. Do you think that's possible?
So first of all, a lot of people envy Asiwaju. A lot of governors in Nigeria envy the guy, and I get it. And I think sometimes it's unfair to the man. But I also agree that Bola Tinubu is beatable. And people talk as if it hasn't happened before. In 2011, PDP won seats in the southeast dominated areas, in Okokomaiko, Satellite Town, Mile 2. PDP won Abuja seats, National Assembly seats in those regions, beating Bola Tinubu's candidates. You had an Accord Party guy, I forgot his name now, but I mentioned it in my book, who beat Tinubu's candidate I think that was in 2015 or 2011, who was also, a previous Tinubu guy, but they didn't give him the ticket at some point, and he went to another party, Accord Party, and he beat Tinubu's candidate. So people have beaten Tinubu in the past. You have an Ondo State governor.
They have not been able to win the governorship seat.
I know that, but you have an Ondo State governor, Akeredolu, who in the first tenure was not Tinubu's candidate, and he beat Bola Tinubu's candidate in the primaries. So people sometimes, talk like he's invincible. He has lost on many occasions, and but when he wins, they need to give credit to the guy, for winning, for being able to win in the past 20 years. And I think many governors are envious of this. They're jealous, and they try to attack him. And the reason I say this is because they are worse. Many of them are worse than he is. They actually want to become as powerful as Tinubu. They're not attacking him because they are thinking like us. They're not attacking him because they are like us, the masses. No, they're attacking him because of their selfishness. We, the masses, know that they are not for us. So, and I'm saying this because it's also related with what's happening in Edo State, godfatherism. And you wonder if Obaseki was actually fighting for the people. Marcus, one of our writers, our editor in Liberating Nigeria, wrote a very nice piece on godfatherism, and I encourage you guys to go read it. Go to liberatingnigeria.com, look for the blog article on godfatherism. It was written by our editor. He did a nice job explaining it, contextualizing godfatherism, actually explaining that there has always been godfatherism. Awolowo was a godfather. Awolowo was not even as tolerant as Bola Tinubu. That was part of the reasons, but people don't read history. Part of the reasons Awolowo and Ladoke Akintola fell out was because Ladoke felt like Awolowo wanted to continue to rule from Lagos, and he said, "Look at what Abubakar, not Tafawa Balewa. I'm talking about the guy in the premier in the north. What is the name of this? Amadu Bello, yeah. And Ladoke was saying, look at what Amadu Bello did. Amadu Bello wanted to keep power. He stayed back in the north, and he sent his assistant Tafawa Balewa to Lagos. So he was like, Awolowo, why didn't you do that if you wanted to retain regional power? And at some point, Ladoke also felt like Awolowo was enjoying too much of opposition politics, and the guy wanted Yoruba people to start, blending with the North, to start getting some positions, and they fell out. Awolowo was known to be a ruthless guy. The progressives don't even elect. If you follow history, they always select. Yafeni Ferris in 1999 was consensus throughout, no primaries. Tinubu, in some cases they did some primaries, but it was more like what you can call indirect primaries. It was voting among the delegates or the elites or the superpowers in the party. So this is how the Yorubas have run their politics for decades. Trusting a leader to select most of the times. You had Abraham Adesoya, all of them. 99, they selected everybody that ran for elections. But it's changing now. APC is bigger. There's direct primaries. Even before APC, AD started doing, Tinubu, ACN started doing primaries. So things are changing. Godfatherism is not going to end. I think we need to push for Bola Tinubu to become. We need to push to improve. So while we're trying to see, I believe they are beatable. First of all, they're beatable, and that's what I've been saying. We need 5 million votes in Lagos. If we have 5 million votes in Lagos, even the godfathers will sit up. They will be ready to negotiate with the young people and say, "Hey guys, we know that." For example, if I have if I'm able to influence 2 million votes in Lagos, for example, do you think that the godfathers are just going to sit idle? No, they will eventually be ready to negotiate. And that's what I'm looking for. And I want to be able to get to that negotiating table and say, sir, this is what we want. The young people want jobs. Can we discuss policies? How can we have 1 million? I don't care who becomes governor. I don't have personal ambitions. Zero. But I want to be able to influence policies. But you cannot influence policies if you don't have numbers. If you don't get onto the negotiating table with the godfather and say, okay, you guys, you can, if you still want to nominate who becomes governor, but can we discuss this specific policy and how it can be used to provide 1 million jobs in Lagos? And I bet you, these godfathers, when they know that you are coming with numbers, you have a skin in the game, they will be willing to negotiate. Buhari wasn't the best candidate in 2015. But Tinubu was ready to work with Buhari because of what? Because of the numbers. This is a man that can get you 10 million votes from the north. I don't think anybody in the southwest imagined that Buhari was the best candidate from the north. No. But we knew, or they knew, I'm not part of the political party, the politicians knew that Buhari had 10 million votes. And they were willing to compromise on that. So if you have the elites, if you have the educated people now in Lagos coming together, and we can control 2 million, or we have influence over 2 million votes, you think Bola Tinubu will not negotiate with us? He will. He will get onto the table and he would say, okay, guys, you have 2 million votes you can deliver in Lagos.
Okay.
I have 1 million I can deliver, and I have the area boys. I have NURTW on my side. Okay. Let us talk. Because we cannot win the election without NURTW. And then we can talk and agree. And that's what I believe. It's not about castigating these guys. It's about trying to beat them at their game with numbers. And sometimes getting an opportunity to negotiate with them to improve lives of poor people in Nigeria. But if you don't even have a skin in the game, you don't even have numbers, they'll just keep laughing at you. So Rufai also had a godfather in Buhari. He won the election because of Buhari in Kaduna, not because of any local godfather. Plain and simple. He rode on Buhari's popularity to win the 2 elections, and he openly says it, that it was Buhari that told him to go and contest, that he wasn't going to contest. Buhari said, go and become governor. And there's nothing wrong in having a godfather. What you do after coming into power is what matters. I believe Rufai has been doing his best. He's done a terrible job with security. Terrible. Rufai has done terrible job with security in Kaduna. Kaduna is one of the least secure states. If you exclude the Boko Haram states, unfortunately, Kaduna is the worst in Nigeria in terms of security. Even worse than many southeast states that were having kidnapping problems before. And he should be ashamed of himself in that regard. He's done a lot of other things well, but if you cannot secure lives and property, that is the first thing as a governor. He's been there for 5 years now. Kaduna security has been poor. So let him I don't like when he says some of those things. And godfather, so he used Buhari as a godfather. But he got there and he has a responsibility to help his people. So if any governor becomes a governor in Lagos based on help from Tinubu as godfather, that governor has a responsibility to help people. Now, he can help. I'm not asking him to fall out totally. And if I explained this in my last interview at Arise TV, and I also explained it a lot in my book. I am for falling out. You can fall out with your godfather, but not the way Obaseki did. You can disagree with your godfather, put people first, focus on reducing poverty, focus on creating employment. But just like you have in America, you have lobbyists, you have different ways of compensating politicians. I'm not against that, as long as you stay within the law. So let's focus on what governors do after getting into power. And let's focus on also pushing godfathers to allow the governors to run the government.
So, if I understand you perfectly, Ego, you're saying that it is close to impossible for a young politician or any upcoming politician to get a governorship seat in Lagos and other states like Edo State, where godfatherism is at its peak.
Yes.
Wow.
Let's be honest. It's impossible. It is impossible at this time. It can change in the next 8 years. It is impossible right now. It's impossible. So you can either ride on Buhari's popularity or local godfathers or Tinubu. You within the godfather at this time. I think it's going to change. Look at the Edo State governor. The current Edo State governor, the only reason he was able to beat Ebikunle Amosun was because he had support from Bola Tinubu, Osinbajo, period. Now, Buhari was, neither here or there, but he won the governorship primaries because he had support from the party machinery against the governor. Plain and simple. So if he comes and gives a testimony in church and tells me, oh, I prayed to God, I did this, it's just BS. He needed the help of some godfathers. God helped him, and he won the election.
And he got that.
And there's no reason to be ashamed. There's no reason to be ashamed of that. Okay. When you get to power, all you need is to put the people first. That's what I keep telling people. You can fall out. When you win elections, you put people first ahead of your godfathers.
Okay. I believe you have quite enormous knowledge on godfatherism as a concept, because you talked about it a lot in your book and of course in the different interviews and articles that you have to your name. So do you think this word, godfatherism in Nigeria politics, would ever end? If it will, is it going to end anytime soon, or this is how the political system will remain for years?
I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. And again, when you use the term godfather, it's not a negative term for me.
Okay.
It's more of the actions of the godfather. Look at the godfathers in Anambra several years ago. I don't know if they're still like that. These were guys that wanted governors to give them cash, about 25% of what comes in from Abuja. That is evil. This was the time of Ngige, Krisuba, Mbadinuju in Anambra State. I don't think it's like that any longer. But at that time, governors were actually given cash, big cash. That is evil. That's what we should talk about. What do you give to your godfathers? I don't think Rufai is giving cash to Buhari for helping him. I don't think that's happening. And that is good, because he rode on Buhari's popularity to win elections. But the good thing is that he doesn't have to repay Buhari back with cash. That is beautiful. So for me, what happens after elections are won is what we should discuss, to say godfathers should not put heavy load on the governors. You have an Anambra guy right now, Obiano. He won because he had Peter Obi as a godfather originally. He has fallen out now with Peter Obi, and he's now kind of alone. But guess what? When he's about to leave, he's going to play that role again as a godfather. He's going to choose somebody again. So Peter Obi was a godfather to Obiano, but they fell out. So to say that you can win election without help is just deceiving yourself. So when I hear some of those, elites, I don't want to mention their names right now, some of those popular guys that come out to say that I don't need a godfather, I'm going to win. How do you even do that? You don't even know the language of the voters. You don't even know. How do you even want to reach out to NURTW? How do you want to speak to the market women? You don't even understand their language. You can't even speak their dialect. So how do you want to go speak to those people if you don't have a leader amongst them that can speak to them? So politics is a game of numbers. If I want to become Lagos governor today, and I cannot even talk to NURTW, I can't talk to market women, I'm not going to win only with elite votes. No, I need the votes from educated people. I need those votes. But those votes will not be sufficient to win elections. And even the educated people, I need somebody to take me to them, to speak to them on my behalf. to make the discussion faster. If I have to start talking to them by myself, it might take me 6 years to be able to speak with them. So I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. I think we should find ways to reform it. Probably have licensed lobbyists. Let me give you an example of what I like. I've said this before. Question: what if my godfather wants a contract after winning? I say things like, why don't we tell godfathers, you want a road contract, but you don't know how to do roads? Why don't you go register with a company, collaborate with a company that is into road construction that will do an excellent job, and come in as a consultant for them, or maybe lobbyist, whatever you want to call it. Find a law to back that up so that you're not running against the law, so that there's a way you can get compensated, but the job is done by the experts. You understand? So what I don't support is giving a job that a godfather cannot handle to him because you want to compensate him. That's not good. Jobs have to be given to, contracts have to be awarded to competent companies. But there's nothing wrong in competent companies collaborating with some politicians to win the contracts, as long as there is law that backs it up. We need to find legal ways to allow these godfathers to derive some benefit. Some compensation, but in a way that doesn't hurt the people, that doesn't hurt the government. Nigeria we have smart politicians. We can create laws to enable this, so that they're not asking governors to give them cash or to give them contracts they cannot handle. So finally, I just believe that the process is what we should talk about, and not just castigating godfathers. Because even El Rufai, when he wants to leave, the quick question: Uba Sonny Uba, that has replaced Shehu Sani now in the Senate, is El Rufai not the guy's political godfather? El Rufai because El Rufai technically installed that guy as a senator, went to Abuja to beg the APC authorities to make sure that it was indirect primaries that held, not direct. He technically single-handedly pushed Shehu Sani out and put his godson there. Now, let's hope that Uba Sani does well. If he does well, then El Rufai will be proud of him as a godfather. But El Rufai helped that guy to become senator as the godfather. All
right. Thank you so much for your time, Edo. Wow, our time is really fast, right? Okay. Thanks again for watching our show today. It's been an amazing time right here on the show, Liberating Nigeria. Once again, remember, you can